Good morning, everyone. I am here today with a fun new project. This is gonna be a long video, so you might want to prepare yourself for that, and I hope that everything works. Um, I have a new adventure in my life. This project is a design team project, and I am going to collaborate every now and then with Stacy Beltz Designs on Etsy, and I she approached me a few days ago, and it was just at the right time because I needed a very fast project for a graduation gift for a very nice young man. And I didn't quite know what to do, but when I went to look at her designs, there were a couple that just jumped out at me, and this was one, writing to a friend. And so that's what I'm going to do today. And what I'm going to do is make a little autograph journal, um, kind of like when I was young and we used to sign yearbooks. I don't know if that still happens, but this is going to be like a vintage autograph book. And these designs are just perfect, I think, for that. I've already cut up one sheet of ephemera, and we'll use another sheet of ephemera in a few minutes. But I wanted to show you what I have printed before I put the journal together. It's going to be very fast, and so I thought it would be a good tutorial video. So I have printed on some cardstock because it's going to be in the tag style. So there's one, I guess it went this way. There's one sheet, two sheets on both sides. Here's another and another. So I've used four pages from the kit and two sheets. That's going to give me 8 tag pages. And then I have printed this design to help me make the cover. So we'll do that in a minute too. So that's what I have printed. And then I have these little cards that were part of the ephemera, and I've printed those as well. They look like little letters, just darling. Anyway, and then I have two sheets, or is it 4? I guess it's 4 sheets of just plain nice, like linen type paper, resume paper, and I've trimmed those down to make interleaving pages in the with the tags. And then I have also cut from this page some little belly bands that I'm going to use. I have one piece of ephemera, one of my vintage checks that I'm going to include just randomly in the pages. And then I have some things over here to make the cover, to decorate the cover. Some more of the ephemera, really pretty, that I fussy cut that and ripped a couple pieces. So let me show you. I just have used some food packaging, some Spanish rice that we had a couple nights ago, and I have prepared it in the shape that I want, the tag, and then I've sanded it because I'm going to use some glue to cover this. I'm going to leave the inside just decorated this way. I used just some distress ink and this Tim Holtz stencil to decorate the inside. Okay, so I think that I'd like to do the cover first because, well, actually, I think I'll cut this one. I just wanted to show you that how it was printed first. So I'm going to cut this in half. The measurements for my project are it's it is 3 3/4 and 3 3/4. So that would be 7.5 by 10.5. That's the measurements that I've used. So I'm just going to quickly cut this one in half and trim it. So that I have a total of 4 tag papers, which means 8 tag, well, it means 16 tag pages. So let me get my scissors and I will just trim the corners of both of those. All right, so now that's completed. So I'm going to turn one this way and one this way. I have one this way and one this way. Okay, so that gives me kind of some randomness. And so I have 2 papers that I'm going to put in each of those. And then I'm going to just put them all together. It's just going to be one signature. I think we'll do it this way. Okay, so now I'm just going to, I want this one on top. So we'll do that. And we'll do that. And we'll do that. I might just leave it with one of the cards tags in the middle. My intention is that the tags will be where he can mount, you know, some pictures of him and his friends, and then the interleaves, they can write notes and sign their name, autograph the book, but then there will be these places for pictures. So that's my intention. So I think that I'm going to leave out these last 2 papers and just have that be the center of the signature. Okay, so now that signature is ready to go, so I'm just going to put the clip on it for now to hold that. Okay, so that's ready to go. Now let's do the cover. Let's remove these little things out of the way. Okay, so the way I'm going to do the cover is I'm going to, this is the back and this is the top. So I'm going to make a spine just with the paper. So the way I want to do it is I want this upside down because I think it looks best that way since it's backwards as well. So I want the design going this way for the cover and this way for the back. Okay, So I am going to use this matte gel medium, and I'm going to put this gel, just paint that on. I want to get it all the way to the edge, because this is going to be just kind of like a board book. And I'm going to leave, let me make sure that I have, yes, that I have this going the right direction. And I'm just going to leave about 1/4 inch spine. It doesn't need to be much. It's not really going to be decorated. So I'm just going to put that on there like that. Make sure the edges are down. Get a rag, wipe some of that off. Turn it over, and then I'm going to use my brayer and make sure there's no air pockets. Okay, so there's that. Now, then this one, I want, well, the back is, I want the back going this way. So that means this needs to be about 1/4 inch on this side. Okay. Sometimes I think I have a learning disability spatially, because I often get things backwards, upside down, and I think I'm doing it right, but then it turns out that it's not. All right. Okay. Same thing, we're just going to wipe that off, turn it over, roll the brayer on it, make sure that it's stuck down good. All right, now, oh, I should have brought some water to clean that brush, and I didn't think. So what I would do is, I do this sometimes, I get a baby wipe because it's damp, and then I'll just wrap it in the baby wipe, and that'll kind of just keep it damp until I can go clean it. All right, so now you can see what we've done to the cover. Now I'm going to let that kind of dry for a bit while we do the rest of it, and then we will come back, and I just kind of want to cut around this. We'll come back and trim it close to the edge, and then I'll show you how I'm going to finish that. Okay, all right, so there's kind of the cover is going to sit and dry while we do the rest of the project. Okay, all right, actually, let me decide. Oh yes, I remember now what I was going to do. Okay, so I'm just going to put this in randomly. I don't think I want it in the center. I think I'll just put it in maybe here. Okay, so That's just going to be just a little bit of a, I don't know, something interesting. Okay. And then, so I thought that maybe it's possible that some people don't want to write, you know, a whole note. They might just want to sign their name. And so what I thought I would do with these darling little pieces of ephemera, they're in the shape of a kind of about the size of a business card. And I just thought maybe they could just sign one of these and put just a little note and the date. And then he can collect those on some of these pages in a belly band. So that's what I'm going to do on some of these pages, these, like this one. I'm just going to get my Fabri-Tac and, whoops, and make a little belly band on 3 or 4 of these pages. All right, kind of like that. And oops. And then we'll do it on this one. I have some marks. I'm trying to save a little time on this video because I don't want it to be a week uploading. Our internet is not that fast. So he'll have room for photos on some of the pages, and then some of the pages will have these room for these little belly band things. There's one. Okay. And, you know, I don't know how many to put in. There's 8 little cards, and you can make, you know, more cards. I'll show you what I used. I had an old invitation. And I used the corners of it. That's right side up. I forgot that I was going to check and make sure that, oh, that's going sideways, so that's okay. I don't want them upside, that's sideways, that's good, okay. So where was the other one? On that one, and that one, and on that one, and I guess we'll put it on this one. So I was pretty excited to see what Stacy has on her Etsy site. It's Stacy Beltz Designs on Etsy. And the other thing I was very happy to see was that it's reasonably priced. I don't use a lot of digitals, and I told Stacy that I'm not I just tend to use a lot of junk and in my journals, and I use a lot of old scrapbook paper that I had from the days that I did scrapbooking. I have lots, and so I don't print out a lot of digitals, and I'm not all that familiar with it. Stacy's designs her files come as a PDF, which is really nice. because it's just ready to go, ready to print, and you don't have to fool around with it. And I was asking her about why she chose to do PDFs instead of JPEGs, which most digitals seem to be, and she said that it's a question of clarity for the designs, and that the PDF files compress much better, much more clear, and so the designs stay crisp and when they're printed. And so that's kind of nice to know. All right, so that's now ready. And so now let's come back to the cover, and we're going to come along and just trim the paper. But on the end of the tag, we're going to leave that to make the spine. I have to keep telling myself that. Don't cut it off. That's the problem with, doing videos when you're not that experienced at it, which I'm not, is, you make the project, and then if something goes wrong with the video, then kind of stuck. Oh, there you see? I did it. Oh my gosh, I cut it off. Well, oh, see, that's the problem. I'm gonna have to now make a spine, which is not that big of a deal, I guess, but it's gonna add time to the video. Okay, so there's the cover, front cover, and there's the front cover, like it. Okay, and I was going to, put them together like this and create the spine, which I guess I will just create it with, I don't know, let's see, maybe some sari silk or something. All right, so now we're going to create a spine. That's the back, this is the front. But before we do that, I'm going to distress the edges. This is one reason why I wanted the edges to be glued down really well, because now I'm going to just take a piece of sandpaper and just kind of sand the edges. And that's going to kind of finish them, and I'm just kind of make a nice edge. Old and kind of grungy on this tag. I love mixed media, and I love vintage, and so everything just gets kind of bunged up and distressed. And you'll notice when you distress sand like this that there's a grain to the paper, and so it sands differently in different directions depending on whether you're sanding with the grain or against it. Okay, there. So that just kind of puts a little bit of a white edge on there, and I like that. I'm going to come in and kind of do same on the inside. Okay, that's good. Oh my gosh, I gotta get moving here. This is going to be the longest video I've ever made, and who knows if it'll work. Okay, now I've got to add time to create a spine. which I'm going to do with, I think there's the front and there's the back. So it goes this way. And I think I will just take some of this mulberry paper, maybe. No, let's see. I think I will use, there's some offcuts, and I think I will just use a piece of that. So I want a 1/4 inch spine, and I want it to go about 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch. That's 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to cut that. All right, and then we'll glue it. Right. Do the same thing on this side. And leave that space there. This just takes a minute for the glue to grab. And now I need something to cover that. I'll get that glue rubbed off before it dries. I think maybe I'll put a little piece of sari on that too. Let me trim this. Okay, and where did my sandpaper go? Because I need to kind of mess that up a little. Sorry to reach in front of you. All right, and carefully make the bend so that I know. There it is. All right, now I'm just going to maybe use a piece of book page in the front. Oh, that's already cut. That's nice. So I'll just cut a strip of that, put a little bit of distressing on it. I'm going to just kind of crumple it a little, I think. Okay. This is going to be a really thick thread, you know, sewing with the threads, and so I do want to, I'm going to put a little piece of sari silk on the outside, which is going to kind of help so that it doesn't tear the spine. I could put Tyvek and whatever in there, but this is supposed to be a quick project. So but if I just put this kind of across that, that's going to help reinforce it. It's kind of there in the middle. I can get it apart. There we go. I may have to come in later and kind of glue that down better, but there. Okay. Now let me kind of trim some of that off. Okay, so there's the spine. Now let's do that's the back. Let me poke the little holes through it again. I just have this very tiny hole punch. This is going to be for the little elastic closure, if I can see where that is. Okay, and then I'm going to punch a hole for the brad for the front. Oh, I was going to put this down first. Okay, let's just decorate the front. I'm going to put a little bit of distress ink on this little die cut. This is going to go across the edge. Right, like that. All right. Yep. Okay, now I'm just going to do kind of a little quick collage here on the front as a decoration. So this was part of the ephemera designs in the kit. This pretty alphabet. Just going to kind of put that there. And then we'll layer it with a little bit of book page. So I'm hoping this kind of looks schoolish, you know. It's a graduation gift, and so that's kind of the theme I wanted to go with. But you could, you know, you don't need, it doesn't need to be graduation. It can be an autograph book for, you know, if you've got a ladies group, or if you've got a friend that's moving away. When I left, we lived in Columbus, Ohio years and years ago when my husband was going to school there. And when I left, we had a lunch, and all of my friends signed a book. We took pictures, and it was this little autograph book, and I still have it, and it's really precious to me to have the names of all those women and a picture. All right, so now I think I want to put this. This is a little sticker. It's kind of like just a piece of washi tape, but it's a sticker. Let's see if I can get that on there before I ruin it. I'm just gonna put it all the way up. maybe, oh, honestly, I think I have that moved over too far. Maybe I'll just do it like this. Yep, decision made. Sometimes it's so hard, but I'm not gonna waste any more time dithering about it. Sand that down a little. Okay, and now one more little thing to come here, but before I put that on there, I'm going to, these labels came from the dollar store. I just distressed it a little bit and then wrote autographs on there. I'm going to put that up here. Maybe I need to look at it this way before I decide where to put that. All right. Sorry. Sometimes this takes me forever to make decisions like this. I do like things to kind of look layered. All right, there we go. Just like that. And then one last little piece. Now you can kind of see kind of how I think when I do this kind of thing. It takes forever. I mean, some people are really good at it fast, but it takes me forever. Okay, so there's the cover there. Now let's put the signature in. Okay, so this is going to be pretty simple. I'm just going to put 2 holes, and I'm thinking that I'm just going to create a line by smashing that down, and then I will know where the middle is. So there's the middle. All right, now I take my awl, and I'm not even really gonna, I'm just gonna, punch a couple of holes. I'm not really gonna measure it, just eyeball it. All right, now, where's my needle? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I have some kind of thick fibers here, and you don't want to put them all through all at once, and I will tell you why. It's because as you pull it through, you're going to have double here, and so this is already thick. I don't want too big of a hole, so I'm going to put and I want to come in from the back because I'm going to tie it on the outside. So kind of in through the back. So you just want to bring it in each one separately, because you don't want to pull that whole great big bunch twice as much through. So we'll put the first one in, and I usually start with the smallest just so that it kind of holds. And this, I have a piece of tape on it to help me get it through the eye, because it wants to fray. There we go. Okay, now just kind of pull that back and push it through again. It's going to make a pretty big hole anyway. But you can see why you don't want, you know, all that bulk trying to get through the little hole. Okay, there's 2 of them in. Now this last one. I apologize for my stained fingers, honestly. My fingers always look horrible. I try to use as little of a needle as possible because I don't want a great big hole, you know, in the paper. I don't want it to have to, or to be prone to rip. So there we go. So I just put a little piece of tape on the end there, and that helps me thread the needle. Okay, let's see if we can get one more through there. Whoops, got to come in the back. See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm spatially challenged. Oh my word, 41 minutes already. Okay. I've done a lot though. That's amazing. Okay, now I just want to tie this in a knot. Anybody knows how to tie a knot when you don't have anybody to help you hold the knot? I'd love a tip for that. Okay. So there's that. And then we can just trim that down a little bit. You know, kind of randomly. Okay, so there's that. And then let me trim a little bit of this off. Now I'm going to close it with this brad. And so I'm going to come in and make a hole. I think about 1/2 inch in is going to be good. Just center it and push that through. And if I can find a little sticker or a little circle or something, I may, you know, cover this on the inside. All right, and then you could just make a string closure, but I'm just going to do my normal, you know, elastic, little elastic. So we're going to put this on the outside. I'm not going to put beads on it. He's a guy, but and these go down through the hole. If I can get my daughter-in-law to help me learn how to edit. I can maybe edit some of this stuff out, shorten it a little. I'm going to go visit. I'm excited to go visit her, and maybe she can help me learn how to do that. Okay, I have to unhook it here so that I can see what I'm doing. This needs to come here through the hole. Okay, now I'll pull that closed. That's about how we want it. Okay, and then I could just tie a couple of knots, which I may do, or I can just tie it this way. Right. Okay. All right, so there's the closure. And let's put our little cards in, the belly bands. So here's this. Okay, there's that little piece of check. So there's a belly band. We'll put a couple cards there. And here's one. And here's one. And then there's one more. There it is. Okay. There you go. All right. There's the autograph book. All right. Let me put the lid on the glue, and then we'll just do a little flip through. We'll just push the trash aside here, and here we go. So that's how the cover turned out, and the inside. There's some pages. There's the first belly band with some cards to autograph, center. And I may put some photo corners, in that might give him an idea about the use of this. There's some more cards. Yep. And papers that people can sign and write notes. There's the back. And then here's the closure. Gotta bring that up just a little bit so that it closes easy, but there we go. And that's the end. Oh my gosh, thanks for spending all this time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. And thanks again to Stacy Beltz and the lovely Digitals for this graduation autograph project. Thanks so much. Bye.